If you asked teachers or any educator if we could only teach one thing to students in education, what would it be? And it would be to read for meaning. I'm sorry to say that a dark spot in America is slavery, but we all know the one thing that we wouldn't allow slaves to do was to learn how to read. This is the most important skill that you can give to anyone, is the ability to read. In fact, the word read, I think, might possibly come from Sanskrit, which means to puzzle and to figure out. In order to make sense of one's life, one needs to be able to read. So reading for academic success began by looking at what do high-achieving readers do, what we call A-plus readers. See, we often look at students who were not successful in reading to figure out what changes we needed to make in their behavior. But we decided to look from another perspective. What do the best readers do? We interviewed them, we watched them, we paid attention, and what we've done is we've identified a set of skills that A-plus readers use when they read and help them to make sense of the world. And so what we've done is we've taken each strategy based on what an A-plus reader does. And we've provided teachers with specific strategies and techniques that they can use to address those needs. We also have a special section in this for students who are underachievers, English language learners, and a variety of techniques in which you can bring these strategies to the classroom in working with young children. Well, a variety of techniques that you can use to bring this to life in your classroom. So let's look at the contents of this book. One of the things that A-plus readers know how to do is to figure out main idea. It's really interesting. In younger grades, we work towards fluency. We often look at topic sentences, but as soon as things become inferential and main ideas are not in a specific sentence, this is where students often have difficulty. So what we've provided is a number of very important strategies for how to formulate main idea. How do you find the main idea? One of the questions we ask is, how is a main idea like a constellation of stars? You see, the stars are all out there, but unless you're able to draw the lines between the stars, are you able to see the big picture and really understand what the constellation is saying? And so we teach students how to begin to do that. So main idea is one of the critical skills that A-plus students have. A second skill is what we call from note-taking to note-making. See, when you make notes, that means your mind is working cognitively. And one of the things that we found out is that the best readers make notes. They don't just take notes. They don't just copy what's in the text. They don't just underline words. What they do is they add their own questions, they add their own thoughts and their own feelings. So what we're doing is we're teaching them the skills of making notes, of really interacting with the text and interacting with the author who has written the text, making sure that their mind is really engaged in what they're reading. Have you ever had the experience where you've read something in an airport? Let's say it happens to me often as I'm waiting. It happens to me often as I'm waiting for the plane, where I've read for 10 minutes and I have no idea what I read. See, how do we make reading a real active process, where we get kids to think before they read, think while they read, and think as they read? So, third strategy that we have in this book is that A-plus readers know how to focus on critical vocabulary and how to use context clues and inference to begin to figure out words that are new to them and how they link them together to develop deeper meaning. And in this book, what we've provided you with a vocabulary strategy based on what we call vocabulary's code. And code stands for the 4 things that any human mind does when they're integrating and learning a new word. 1 is connect. They have to connect what they already know to the new word. 2 is they have to organize it and put it into some meaningful structure. 3 is the more they deep process it, develop pictures of it, see it in their mind, the better they'll understand the word. And E is you need to have sufficient exercise and elaborate on the word as you use it. So in this text, we have a set of strategies for teachers to use to teach vocabulary called Vocabulary's Code. And again, what we found out, this is a natural behavior of high achievers. So in the book, the question that we've asked is, what do A+ readers do? How do they go about figuring out main ideas?